Have you ever noticed that in a band, it's so often the drummer that dies first? This is an awful and sad thing. It started when I was quite young. When I was a teenager, I think Keith Moon died. He was the first one from The Who to die. And he was 32. And bizarrely, as a teenager, I said, oh, well, he's had a good life. He's 32, which seems ludicrous now. And then years later, John Bonham died at exactly the same age, 32, which is also just appalling, really. Now, why is this? There's a great long list of bands where the drummer died first. You've got the Foo Fighters not so long ago. And now people say, oh, Blondie. But actually, Blondie had a drummer before Clem, really back in the old days, and he died first. And then now Clem's died since. So it's the whole thing is kind of crazy, really. Now, what is it about drummers? I don't know. I know some of them are a bit more crazy than the rest of the band, more likely to get drunk, more likely to drive a car into a swimming pool, or I don't know, do crazy things. Maybe it's just that. But so I was kind of aware of this for quite a while, and I thought, well, actually now I've left the profession with the shortest lifespan and joined the one with the longest lifespan, which to me seemed a good survival strategy. But I don't know what it is about drummers. It's just awful. They keep dying. I can't stand it, but what can you do? They're not the only ones that die, of course. Musicians die all the time, but young ones, and that's awful as well. But he so often seems to be the drummer dying really young. The list goes on and on and on, goes back years. But the Beach Boys, for instance, and so many bands. Anyway, drummers are funny people. I went to a studio once with 3 other guys. We walked in. We'd been there about 30 seconds, and the engineer looked straight at me and said, "You're the drummer, aren't you?" I said, "Yeah, I am, but how do you know that?" He said, "I've been doing this a long time, I can just tell." I thought, what a strange thing to do. But actually, since then, every time I see a band walk in, I try and play the game of guess which one's the drummer. And I have to say, about 80% of the time, I get it right. And you know, the weird thing is, I don't know how I can tell. I look at them and think, oh, he's a drummer, but I'm not sure what it is about him. You just recognize something about him. I'm sort of unconsciously competent. But it's something to do with the body language, the way they move or look around, or just about what their body says. They're kind of more hyperactive than the rest of the band. And normally you look around and the singer will be looking at his hair in the window, and the guitar player will be throwing a strop. The bass player will be worrying that there's not enough time or money or energy or whatever. And the drummer will be saying, where's the drugs, where's the booze, something like that. Anyway, I don't know what it is, but I can always tell the drummer. Maybe you can too. Let me know in the comments if you had any such experience. And please, drummers, look after yourself. Don't die young. I can't stand it. Thank you very much for listening.